My response to the question, am I optimistic or pessimistic about the state of the earth in a few years is this.
I am terrified for the future.
It feels like the world is falling apart, meaning the people to stand up and fight.
This is actually happening. I need to get involved. I don't want this to happen everywhere.
Things are going to get like a hell of a lot worse before they get better, but where I draw hope from is people that I've met, the people that have this like audacious spirit to fight back.
I have faith that one day we're going to get there.
Stir it up, little darling, stir it up, come on.
Hi, my name is Emmy and my favorite color is pink.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Vish, and my favorite animal is a peacock.
Hi, my name is Bela, and I like this kind of weather.
Hi, my name is Carson and I'm a student at Appalachian State University.
My name is Christian, and contrary to Vish, my favorite animal is a donkey. We're part of a group called Appalachian Youth Climate Coalition. We have high schoolers, college students, people that have graduated both or aren't involved in either sort of institution. We are founded to advocate for young people in rural areas, especially in Appalachia and in other places kind of the upland south.
I think one of the big things that we do is try to redefine what environmentalism and what an environmentalist looks like. If you eat food, you should be an environmentalist.
Yeah, exactly.
If you drink water, you
You
live
breathe
on
air.
Earth. Yeah.
Ever since you're really, really young, as long as you can remember, you know that these things are happening. And it's not just about the climate. It's about plastic pollution. It's about widening income inequality. It's about horrible racism in this country. It's about just hatred and xenophobia and all these different things. It's this like slow buildup over time. You know these things are happening. Sometimes they affect you personally. Sometimes they don't. But gradually, it gets worse and worse and worse, and you have nowhere to put that.
It got personal with me when I was up near Mount Rogers. I thought like this is something that I need to invest my time into. I just kind of always grew up with that knowledge of climate change is happening. I don't really know what it is. I know it's not good, and I know it's caused by people.
As I grew into my teens, I really started to appreciate that there's more to life than the square mile around my house. And you go and you find yourself a swimming hole, you pull a crawdad out of a creek, you do all these things, and slowly over time you start to realize that the place that you grew up in is more than a geographical location. It's something that shapes you into the person that you are. A lot of times when people look at Appalachia, they think that it's the mountains, it's the streams, it's the valleys, but really all of that is important, and for us it's the reason that we fight. But those mountains, those valleys, those streams, those animals, those birds, all of those things go into shaping people, and the people of the region is really why we have to be invested.
I read some articles about how there was like lots of plastic usage with the masks and all the takeout food, I guess, even though like carbon emission has gone down a little bit. I think we still need to focus on all the issues that's going on around us. And I always just look around me and see how fortunate I am to live here. And I just want to protect what we have.
If someone told me that they were not an environmentalist or that they didn't necessarily care about the environment, what is in your pantry? What is in your fridge? What is coming out of your sink? What is coming through your HVAC system into your house? All of the things, all of your tables that are wood, those are all coming from the environment. And if what you are doing is unsustainable, think about if you cannot have those things in 10 or 15 years. You are gonna have to give up things in your life in the near future if we don't change what we're doing.
The thing about climate is that there are certain things that we cannot control. Once they hit that breaking point, they're out of human hands, right? And we just have to let nature take its course. There are so many things in the world that we can change, and we do have the potential to look at. If we operate under a system that values profit and exploitation and material benefit over the livelihoods of people, especially vulnerable people, I'm talking about people of color, indigenous people, people that live adjacent to coal mines, Cancer Alley in Texas, all those areas around the world where people are willingly suffering for the profit of others, I'm not optimistic at all. I'm not. That being said, I think that we do have that choice.
At probably 14 or 15, I decided I couldn't have kids, and that's not because I think there's too many people. It's because I don't want to bring someone into a world where I know that they're gonna have to spend their entire life fighting for their life. I want to have kids, I want to have mini-me's, but I can't.
We have hurricanes, we have pandemics, we have Wildfires, all of these things. We have multi-billion-dollar corporations trying to build pipelines in our backyards, and it can be really, really depressing. It can be really, really hard. But it's not all doom and gloom. We have the opportunity to either let our future slip away, or every single one of us can stand up and fight.
So one of the things our group is focused on a lot is stopping the Mountain Valley Pipeline. And this pipeline has plans to destroy so many of these communities, this place that so many people call home. We feel that it's our job to defend the people that live here. They don't even have the correct permits to run through some of the places they're planning to run through, and destroying the ecosystems. We've had 3 protests and they've been really successful, and we've had live music, we've made banners. We had some sustained action for solidarity with the tree sitters that are sitting here in our county to stop further construction of the pipeline.
We made 300 calls, dozens of emails and tweets, and none of them got back to us. None of them even responded, none of them even acknowledged our existence. We're feeling disillusioned with those that are in power right now.
What's more beneficial, direct action or peaceful, nonviolent resistance? In order to stop a corporate behemoth like the Mountain Valley Pipeline, you absolutely have to have direct action. And there are people that plead for peace at absolutely any price and for not shaking the basket and causing an uproar. You have to have young people that are willing to hold rallies and deliver food and do mutual aid in order to keep those camps active. And you also have people that are willing to chain themselves to bulldozers. There's no one way to win a fight. There are people that believe that climate activism doesn't involve direct action. I think we can say that we don't stand with that. We support direct action and we always want to be advocates for it. Peaceful action is how you gain publicity. If you want to get in newspapers and get people attentive to your cause, you can do peaceful actions and rallies. I mean, some of our members were interviewed on the news just the other day for a peaceful rally that was in support of the tree sitters. And on the 11 o'clock news, because we had that peaceful rally, there are definitely more people who are aware of their struggle right now, right?
Is direct action or peaceful protest needed? And my answer is very flatly, we need both. Instead of symbolic protest, we need actions, whether it's boycotting, whether or not it's striking, whether it's chaining yourself to a bulldozer, something that will be putting real economic pressure, real social pressure on power. Because if you just go out there and wave around some signs, it might get your word out, which is good. But if you really want to target someone who can make change, you have to place pressure on them in other ways.
Real direct action is the only way you're going to get change, and that's why they're labeling it as domestic terrorism.
Why aren't we calling the pipeline domestic terrorism? Why aren't we calling the mountaintop removal miners domestic terrorism? They're coming in, they're blasting their way through our mountains, they're contaminating drinking water. Why the hell is that not classified as terrorism? Why is it only terrorism when we fight back? Our voices have definitely been heard in many ways. It's incredible. Every time the news kind of picks up on it, every time that anybody even hears about this, that is a big deal to us.
One of the most inspiring things that we have done is that I have kids, 14, 13-year-olds, reaching out to me saying, I know nothing about Appalachia, I know nothing about the climate, but what you guys are doing is really cool and it's really inspiring and I want to learn.
I want to speak to the person that you just feel helpless. You're like, I am so insignificant. The world, this machine just keeps marching on and on and on and on, and I am powerless to stop it. We're not. And the reason I know this is because the minute you kind of break out of that shell, the minute you start to dare to think that you can make a difference, that's precisely when things get better. You will find that you have allies in places you didn't expect. You will find people that are sympathetic that beforehand you thought were enemies. Really, really, really genuinely starts with one moment, one action, one thing that you decide to do and say, enough is enough. I am going to at least try to fight this.
If someone were to say, I could never do this, how are you doing it? I would say, well, I was you a year and a half ago. And as long as you're passionate, people are going to see that and they're going to join you and they're going to be passionate with you. And you just have to find those people, and that will come with time. It's not going to be easy. Some parts are going to be hard and they're going to be tough and they're going to make you mad and they're going to make you sad. And then there's going to be moments that are so joyous that you want to cry. I would say to really find that personal connection that you have to the place you live and the people that you're around, And I would say to not let anybody like the systems around you try and tell you that anything that you're doing, no matter how small or how big you may like decide to do it, is insignificant in any way. Because any kind of organizing, any kind of action that you do is participating to a hopefully better future.
I decided to get involved even though I was really shy and I don't like to speak up a lot, but I think just being able to do some action just to support like all the environmental issues that are going on, I think it's really important just to do something about it because not enough people are doing stuff about it. So I think anybody who cares about the environment, anybody who just lives on the world, even you breathe fresh air, the fresh air we shouldn't take for granted, should become an environmental activist.
My advice to young organizers would be to first find something that really drives you, right? I have a great friend who loves to bass fish. He's an environmentalist because he loves to bass fish, right? Or whether you love to go and hunt, or you're passionate about racial justice, or you want to secure women's reproductive rights, like whatever your cause is, whatever your passion is, first identify what drives you, and then after that, start figuring out how the hell you're going to make it happen. It's about community coalitions of people kind of coming together and then using their drive to make things happen in their own community, right? California, Northern Virginia, Maine, anywhere you're going to be in the United States, there is going to be injustice because there is injustice everywhere throughout the United States, throughout the planet. And find that injustice, find what your drive is, and then once you're there, build community and use that community to figure out exactly what you're going to do, whether that's in the hills of Appalachia or just about anywhere else on the planet.
Little darling, stir it up. Oh yeah. Stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Little